basketball. Yan po ang ilan o ilang libo sa mga kaibigan natin na nakapasok po sa loob ng kuneta. Meron pa hong marami-rami na gustong makapasok. Nasa labas po sila nag-iintay ng pagkakataong makapasok dito sa laban dahil iniintay nila itong napakagandang second game natin. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat, lalong-lalo sa ating mga kaibigan sa San Jose, Nueva Ecija. Magandang gabi sa inyo, mag-enjoy kayo ng game. Siguradong maganda ito dahil magtatapat po ang San Miguel Beer at saka Anton Denia, at ito ay napakatindig laban dahil semi-final slot. Baka ito ang magbibigay sa atin kung sino ang kukuha ng panlima. Magandang gabi uli, Chino Trinidad kasama ni Maylin Tito.
Magandang gabi po sa kanilang lahat. Now, before we move on, Chino, let's first take a look at the results of the first game. In the first game, Alaska won over Shell 102-92. And so if we look at our team standings now, with Alaska clinching the very first final slot and with only 3 games left for most of the teams, the cast for the semis is slowly taking place. And that is why this game between San Miguel, who stands at 4-4, and Tondenia 65 at 3-5 is so very, very crucial.
Yes, baka ito po ang magbigay ng linaw sa atin kung sino nga ang kukuha ng panglimang slot na pinaglalabanan na yan. Ano? Alam natin na itong ating Commissioner's Cup, sinabi na yung tatlong teams na nasa ilalim, namely Santa Lucia, Pepsi at saka Tondenia. Sabi nila as early as last week, wala nang pag-asa, pero mukhang nagkabaliktad po. Kaya po, nagbalikan ang mga kaibigan natin, nagpasok ang lahat ng fans dito sa loob ng kuneta dahil biglang nabuhayan ang tatlong mga teams na ito. Anong dahilan at sila'y buhay? Panoorin po natin ang feature na buhay pa sila. They're alive.
Barely a week ago, Pepsi Mecca,
Yeah.
Santa Lucia Realty, and Tondenia
Sometimes I get so mad, there's no
65 were
controlling
given up
me.
for
My
dead
thoughts
in
get
the
so
chase
bad, I'm
for
like,
semi-final
I
spots
might
in
grab
the
a bat, I
current
don't know, my
Commissioner's
wrath, my
Cup.
blood boils over like,
A recent run
oh
of
God, here
victories by
goes. I
all
lost
three
all
clubs
feeling
have
from my head to my
somehow
toes. You
been
said some
chances
shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show.
So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things. Realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me up. Let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of brave men just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted. So mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
I don't take smoke, I'm a poker holder, you choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty.
Buhay pa kayong lahat? Opo, buhay pa silang lahat at may pag-asang pumasok sa semifinals. At gaya na nasabi kanina, dahil po sa kabuhayan ng tatlong teams nito, particularly ang Tondenia, mukhang nagbalikan po ang libo-libong mga fans ng Tondenia dito ni Coach Sonny Jaworski sa loob ng kuneta. In fact, pinuno po nila ang bleachers sa araw na ito. Nagbalik po sila dahil nabuhayan ng Tondenia at mayroong pag-asang pumasok sa semifinals. Atin pong silipin ang record para wag naman yung sabihin baka binobola natin na nagbalikan ang mga fans dito. Tignan nyo po ang top 5 crowd attendance natin pamula nung nagsimula itong ating Commissioner's Cup. Starting nung nagsimula tayo dito noong Hunyo, ayan makikita po ninyo na ang pinakamabigat na live attendance natin, no, paying public po yan, no, 7,989 of the total 9,357 na posibleng pumasok by tickets ay nakapasok po dito noong July 17 at sunod-sunod po yan. Napakarami na po nating mga nakita at pinupuno po nila ang kuneta lately, no. Ang dahilan nga po niyan ay ang biglang pagbabago ng mga pangyayari dito sa loob ng kuneta. Yung teams na sinabi nilang walang pag-asa ay bigla pong nabuhayan. At siguro basing on what we saw kanina sa opening, mukhang meron na naman pong record na mabe-break in terms of yung crowd attendance natin para sa Commissioner's Cup, no? Ngayon, pagka ating pag-uusapan ang pagbabalik ng Tondenia sa buhay, ang kanila pong import, ang napakalaki ng ibinigay na buhay sa kanila. No? Yan po ang walang iba kundi si Mitchell Wiggins na sa last 2 games niya ay nag-average ng 64. But total niya, ang kanya pong average ay 57 points per game. Ang kanya pong tindi ng kamay ay nakapagbigay sa Tondenya ng 2 straight wins. One against Santa Lucia and the other against Shell sa Aklan. Ano? Nakita po natin ang kanilang pagkabuhay. Ngayon, sabi nga nila, itong si Mitchell Wiggins, habang tinitignan natin ang footages ng kanilang laban, no? Yan po sa Aklan nangyari noong Martes na ating ibinigay sa inyo by and by ang resulta na para manalo ang kupunan ng Tondenya ngayon for their 3rd straight win. Again, ang focus will be on Mitchell Wiggins at yung pong momentum nila na naibigay sa kanila Mitchell Wiggins na 2 straight wins, baka kanilang maituloy, no? Makikita po natin kung kakayanin ni Mitchell Wiggins ang mabigat niyang trabaho. For the past so many games, he has practically carried Tondenya on his shoulders. Kakayanin yan laban sa San Miguel. Ito mismo ang explosive, ang scoring machine, ang one-man demolition team ng kupunan ng Tondenya, si Mitchell Wiggins. Okay, bago po ating ibigay muna ang interview na yan, ano, ni Mitchell Wiggins, ating muna silipin ang remaining games ng Tondenya, no, para makita natin kung ano ang schedule nila. Ang kalaro po nila ngayon San Miguel at so susunod po July 26 ng Swift ang kanilang makakalaban at versus Pepsi July 31. So yan po ang 3 key games, no. Kung masisimulan panalo ng Tondenya itong San Miguel, meron pang isang mabigat, no, na kalaban, that's Swift, and then finally against Pepsi. So sabihin natin, napakabigat ng trabaho nila. Nakikita natin ang hirap at dadaan sila sa napakalaking kalbaryo, napakahabang kalbaryo. Ito na po yung sinasabi nating interview kay Mitchell Wiggins.
Your team's on a 2-game winning streak, so the momentum is on your side. But on the other hand, you're on the brink of elimination, so this must be a must-win situation for you guys.
Well, I think when I got here, our backs was against the wall. So every game, we look at it the same way. We have to win, and you know, right now we're playing with a lot of confidence, and I hope that we can continue tonight because you know, we're playing a very good team, a crowd favorite team, and you know, it's the most important game of the season for us.
You know, ever since the league moved here to the Cuneta Astrodome, you played San Miguel 7 times. Tondenya has never beaten San Miguel. Was there any special preparation for today's game?
Only that we continue to do what got us here. Play hard as we can on defense, rebound, and run the basketball. But the most important thing is just to play with confidence because we've lost to the best teams, and we feel like we can beat anybody.
Moving over to San Miguel, who stands at 5th place with their 4-4 win-loss record. Their 4-game winning streak was cut short by the Alaska Milkmen in the out-of-town game in Dumaguete last Saturday with a 91-82 victory over the Beermen. Now, they cannot afford another loss because a loss tonight against the Tondenya 65ers will just complicate their entry into the semis, especially since they will be having quite difficult assignments ahead of them, including tonight's game against Tondenya 65. They will be going up against Swift Mighty Meaty Hot Dogs and Shell Remula X. Now, in this situation, the Beermen will most likely turn to the strong inside and outside presence of their import, Bill Martin. Now, Martin has so far been very consistent with his game, pumping in an average of 31 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. Completing the major source of offense for the Beermen are Alan Kaidik and Ato Agustin. Now, Alan Kaidik contributes 20 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds per game, whereas Ato Agustin also puts in 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Now, because of this, San Miguel still has enough offensive strength despite the injuries of several of their key players like Mon Fernandez, Samboy Lim, Yves Dignadice, Hector Calma, and Franz Pumaran. That's practically everyone. But just the same, let's hear about it from Coach Norman Black.
How important is this game going to be for you? Because Alaska stopped your winning streak at 4 in Dumaguete. How important is it?
It's very important. It's also a very important game for Tondenya. I think everybody knows by now that we're both fighting for the 5th and last slot to make it into the semifinals. So they're only 1 game behind us, so this game is very important tonight. Yeah.
When you go up against Tondenya, they have their physical style of play. Is your team, most specifically your import, Billy Martin, ready for this?
Well, I think physical basketball is just part of the game, so I don't really think there's anything special about the way they play. They foul a lot, yes, but if we make our foul shots, I think we should do okay tonight. Yes.
Okay, atin pong silipin ang record ng dalawang magkalaban na ito na magtatapad. Sister teams po, pero mukhang may problemang malaki ang Tondenya, no? At nakikita po natin sa ating for the record, last time Tondenya defeated San Miguel Beer was 1992. Ultra pa ang palaruan ng PBA at hindi dito sa Cuneta. Ang Tondenya po noon, then Ginebra, swept San Miguel Beer 3-0 in their best of 5 series for third place. Sa 1993 at 1994, nakakatakot po ang record ng San Miguel laban sa Tondenya. 7-0. Pero sabi nga nila, that's always the first time. At malay natin, baka yung swerte ng Tondenya matuloy po ngayon laban sa San Miguel Beer.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us here on PBA Pregame. PBA goes on a break, but we will return with our panelists, Ed Tixon and Kinito Hanson. Now, before we go, I'd like to greet a very, very special person. Lahat po ng tao, nabati na siya, ako na lang hindi. Chino, happy birthday. Dahil nandyan ka, nandito ako, hindi kita mahalikan, malayo ka. Happy birthday. Yun po ang PBA Pregame. Maraming salamat. Magbabalik kami pagkatapos nito.
With 4 minutes.
Way to a full house tonight this Friday evening despite the unpredictable weather in Metro Manila this Friday. Well, Barangay Tondenya certainly is out in full force here at the Cuneta Astrodome this evening despite the weather, as we said. Of course, Tondenya 65 riding on the crest of a 2-win streak, if we can call it that. Not a mighty crest, but 2 wins, 2 straight wins after 5 straight losses. Certainly that's something to get excited about.
Without a doubt, I think the fans here, especially those rooting for Tondenya, are here to expect a 3rd straight victory for Tondenya. And, well, as far as Tondenya is concerned, many of the fans are saying that this is a team that's going for broke in this game, really, because if they hope to advance to the semifinals, Tondenya will want to bring down San Miguel Beer. And as far as the theme for Tondenya is concerned, as we said, going for broke, not break, the 3 points to consider. Number 1, they've got to be able to establish the power game. Number 2, they have to cut down the turnovers. And number 3, they must have a balanced attack. Now let's review those 3 points, Ed. The first point, of course, establish the power game. They say that one way to break the back of a team that likes to play finesse basketball is to play rugged physical defense. And this is the kind of game that Tondenya likes to play. And of course, San Miguel Beer is really the typical finesse type of team. Number 2, cut down the turnovers. We also know that Tondenya is the league's #1 team in turnovers, Ed. They're averaging 22 turnovers a game. The next team in line is Swift, and they're averaging just 17. That's a big 5-gap difference for turnovers, and they've got to be able to cut down on turnovers if they hope to be able to beat San Miguel here tonight. The third point, balanced attack. We all know that Mitchell Wiggins averaging 57 points in this conference, but in those last 2 games which Tondenya won, there were 3 local players who averaged in double figures. And we're referring to Noli Locsin, who averaged 19.5 points in those 2 wins, Pido Horencio 12.5, and J.V. Gayoso, who averaged 10.5. Balanced attack is essential for Tondenya to be able to bring down San Miguel Beer tonight.
Well, you did say that Tondenya 65 is going for broke, past tense of break. But seriously, now I read your column today at the Philippine Star.
Oh, thank you. I know you just got a subscription.
We're even. Well, you did say that there is talk that the management of both teams actually give more bonuses or cash incentives if they win against the other team.
That's
is that
supposed
true?
to be a secret.
Why did you print it?
Well, we wanted to be able to share it with the fans because it really adds a lot of drama to this game. A lot of the fans think that when San Miguel and Tondenya play, that because they are sister companies, the intensity is not all there. But you're wrong, because as I understand it, the managements of both teams want to beat each other so badly that they have increased their bonuses for the teams if they're able to beat one another.
Well, certainly that means that this game, every time Tondenya 65 and San Miguel encounter or face each other, it's a matter of pride.
That's right, it is a matter of pride for San Miguel Beer. And that is the theme for San Miguel Beer tonight. matter of pride because this is a national team and they may be on the brink of elimination if they lose to Sandenia tonight. San Miguel Beer, of course, with a 4-4 record. The 3 points to consider for the Beermen: number 1, defensive pressure; number 2, aggressive board work; and number 3, outside power. As far as defensive pressure is concerned, San Miguel Beer likes to play the half-court trap defense. They like to employ the 1-2-1. They also like to play the full-court press. This is essential if they hope to be able to break the back of Tandenya, because Tandenya has a problem with ball carrying. They don't really have a natural point guard except the playing coach, Robert Jaworski. We also know that San Miguel Beer is averaging 5.4 steals a game. That ranks number 1 in the league. So defensive pressure, very important for San Miguel Beer tonight. The second point is aggressive board work. And here, this is an area that San Miguel Beer is really weakest because they're averaging only 40 rebounds a game. That's second to the last in the league.
And Tandenya is doing pretty well in that department.
Exactly. Tandenya is the league's number 1 team in rebounding. They're averaging 50.6 rebounds. That's a big 10 rebound difference. And San Miguel Beer must be able to narrow that gap. They must be more aggressive inside the paint. And the third point, of course, is outside firepower. And here we have to include the import Bill Martin. Ato Agustin, Alan Kaidik, and Bill Martin combined average over 70 points a game. They've got to be able to step up their perimeter offense if they hope to be able to loosen up the kind of interior physical defense that Tandenya likes to play.
Well, we'll find out which of these two teams listen to Kenito Henson tonight as we see who's going to win between Tandenya 65 Rum and San Miguel Beer. Always a fierce encounter between these two squads. Don't go away. We'll be right back with the ball game. Good evening, Philippines. This is Ed Pixon together with Kenito Henson for Vintage Sports and the game between Tandenya 65 Rum and San Miguel Beer. On your screens, the starting units for San Miguel: Agustin, Martin, Teng, De La Cruz, and Kaidik. For Tandenya, Chuatico, Gayoso, Ong, Wiggins, and Locsin.
Well, Ed, the medical report is Hector Calma will not be able to play in this game. Ramon Fernandez, Yves Dignadice also will not be able to play. Fernandez and Calma are nursing a fever. They are down with the flu. And a hamstring injury bothering Franz Pumaran. He also will not be able to play. And a back injury for Yves Dignadice. So those 4 stalwarts will be missed by San Miguel in this game.
Well, Coach Norman Black was even extra worried as I came into the Astrodome this afternoon. He was saying that a lot of his players were missing not just from injuries and illnesses, but also from the heavy traffic that was all over Metro Manila this afternoon, especially after that heavy downpour.
That's right. I was talking to Alan Kaidik, and he told him it took him over 2 hours to negotiate the distance between somewhere in Green Hills to the Astrodome. Probably because of the fans going over to the Astrodome.
All roads lead to the Cuneta Astrodome.
Ang tabi kasi tao, mga kaibigan.
Well, you guys out there did the smart thing. Staying in your homes, offices, or in different watering holes, watching the games as brought to you by Vintage Sports and PTV4.
You know,
Yes.
Ed, some implications as to what will happen in this game. If San Miguel Beer wins, Pepsi is automatically out. Right now, Pepsi still has a mathematical chance of forcing a playoff for the 5th semifinals berth. But if San Miguel Beer wins tonight, Pepsi is definitely out. But even if San Miguel Beer wins, Tandenya is not necessarily eliminated. All Tandenya has to do is to win its last 2 games over Swift and Pepsi, and San Miguel must lose its last 2 games against Shell and Swift for them to be able to forge a tie for the 5th semifinals berth.
As usual, a lot of information from my partner, Kenito Henson, but one thing is sure from that statement, I know which team Pepsi is rooting for.
That's right. And you know, as we said, going for broke is a team for Tandenya. If there is a team that Tandenya will want to bring down from the Magic 5 circle, it is San Miguel Beer, and that's why this game is so important for both clubs.
Alan Kaidik missing from the corner. Wiggins with a shake and bake move. Offensive foul is called by referee Bay Ledesma.
Now we can expect San Miguel Beer to array a phalanx of guards to try to contain Mitchell Wiggins. The first one in line, Art De La Cruz, a rather rugged defensive player, and he forced Mitchell Wiggins into committing that offensive foul. De La Cruz standing his ground. You know, he's rugged, and he will take the charge.
Wilbur Ong is assigned to Billy Martin. He got a piece of the ball, but there was also body contact from Jamie Gayoso as Billy Martin went by him.
Now you notice that Bill Martin is playing the low post, and I think this is the right idea from Coach Norman Black. Martin is basically a perimeter player. He is not a post-up player, but against a team like San Miguel Beer, against a team like Tondena, Martin will have to play down low. He's got to be able to take advantage of his height advantage and try to challenge Ong to commit fouls as he drives in. Remember, Mitchell Wiggins really will not be a match for Bill Martin in an import-to-import situation because Mitchell Wiggins is standing over 2 inches less than Bill Martin.
Play is broken up by the sticky San Miguel defense. San Miguel Beer on top by 3 at 4-1. We are in the second minute of this ball game. Nonoy Chuatico is at point guard slot for Tondena 65. Wiggins up against Art de la Cruz. He takes the ball inside but lost possession of it. And here's Ato Agustin for San Miguel Beer. Finds Billy Martin. Finds the hoop.
He's such a sweet shooter. You give him an open shot from medium range and Bill Martin would drain it. Now we were talking about the medical report from San Miguel Beer. Here's the medical report from Tondena. Maki de Hoya will again not be able to play in this game. He suffered a sprain at practice some weeks back and he is sidelined. He will not be able to play and use his good defense against San Miguel Beer tonight.
That's probably the reason why we saw June Marzan in uniform.
That's right, June Marzan has been reactivated because Maki de Hoya has been delisted temporarily.
So Maki de Hoya is on the bench in street clothes. 9 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Is a 3-point lead by San Miguel Beer. Alvin Teng hemmed in. His pass is picked off, but miscommunication among 2 or 3 Tondena players, and Alvin Teng capitalizes on it, puts it in the back shot, and it's another 5-point lead for the Beermen at 8-3.
Alvin Teng very aggressive inside the paint. And talk about Alvin Teng.
Alvin Teng. JB Gayoso takes it away from Ato Agustin. Noli Locsin has scored points for the Tondena cause.
A golden opportunity for Tondena. A turnover translated into 2 points. Good defense, bringing about good offense.
San Miguel Beer lead is down to 3. 9 minutes to go in the first period. Ato Agustin finds Alan Kaidik. Short jumper won't go, and Gayoso gets to it. Here is Chuatico. Uh-oh. Noli Locsin kind of traveled there, but they turn it over anyway.
Well, miscommunication between Locsin and Chuatico. Chuatico thought that Noli Locsin would glide straight to the hoop. Now, he's been doing it the last few offensive thrusts.
Right.
Kanya tuloy, Chuatico was expecting that kind of a move from Noli Locsin.
Alan Kaidik being watched by Wilmer Ong because of the switch. Whoa, what a drive by Billy Martin, but it is nullified as an offensive foul is called on Billy Martin.
Let's look at that again. He knew that foul was off him. He used his left arm to ward off Noli Locsin. Good defensive stance there by Noli Locsin. Trouble here for Tondena.
But Chuating was able to recover it. Locsin a bit tentative, but he makes the shot anyway. He's got 6 of the 7 points of Tondena 65. They're down by only 1.
Well, we talked about how important it was for Tondena to get balanced back. So far, the locals, well, in particular, Noli Locsin, doing more than his share in putting in the points here for the 65ers.
At that time, Billy Martin was able to shake off the defense and get a clear lane to the hole. Had an easy 2 on the layup. And it's back to a 3-point lead for San Miguel. Tight pass inside to Wiggins. Credit the assist to Noli Locsin.
Yes, and Mitchell Wiggins has a height mismatch over Art de la Cruz, and that time Tondena worked the ball inside to Mitchell Wiggins.
Good defense here by Wilmer Ong. He got to tap the ball, and Mitch Wiggins came over to help. And so a jump ball situation ensues in front of the San Miguel basket with 7 minutes 38 seconds remaining in the first period.
Scrambling defense here by Tondena. Also double teaming Bill Martin even outside. They're not waiting for him to set up a low post. We also noticed at the start of the game, or since the start of the game, Tondena has been playing at a breakneck pace. I think they realize that San Miguel Beer is short-handed in this game. They're handicapped by lack of personnel. So what they want to do is to wear down the combination that San Miguel Beer has on the floor, because they realize that San Miguel Beer will not have too many fresh legs coming off the bench since they are short-handed in this game.
Billy Martin giving them the pick by Alan Kaidik. There's a pick and roll. Kainek will hit it from there.
Tough shot under defensive pressure. We were talking about the breakneck pace. Here we go again.
No count, says referee Rivera. Loose ball foul. That's going to be number 2 on Mitchell Wiggins. Pretty early foul trouble here for the Tondenya 65 import. 7:11 remaining in the first quarter. San Miguel Beer leading by 3, 12-9.
You know, Mitchell Wiggins, in his eagerness to get the offensive board, because he knew he was going to have a wide open layup after snaring that rebound, pushed off. Now that has been a chink in the armor of Mitchell Wiggins. We've seen that. He's committing a lot of useless fouls, pushing off on the offensive boards or off the offensive boards. He needs to be able to watch that because he's such an important, a vital cog in the offensive machine of Tondenya. As we know, he's averaging 57 points a game.
Meanwhile, Wilmer Ong is called for his first personal foul. Tondenya 65 has already committed 4 team fouls as against 2 by San Miguel. Agustin is covered by Chuatico. Agustin tries to be creative. The referee Ledesma will call a foul on Nonoy Chuatico. That is going to be number 5 on San Miguel Beer. So they have used up their quota of fouls here in the first quarter with 6 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the initial period.
What a move by Ato Agustin. You saw that on your replay. He was covered by Nonoy Chuatico, but he found the opening and Chuatico gave way. If Chuatico only held his ground, he would have forced a charge on Ato Agustin. But Chuatico moved his body sideways and that allowed Agustin the opening to move in for that shot. 96% average from the line, a hot streak.
Well, you can take a lesson from the way Ato Agustin shoots his free throws. Very simple, but very basic, but super effective. J.B. Gayoso trying to weave some magic into the Tondenya 65 offense. Mitch Wiggins loses space.
Ran out of space, but he almost had the steal. Now J.B. Gayoso again playing a little bit out of control. He's not known as the kamikaze kid for nothing, but he tried to force the issue that time off Bill Martin. I think more than anything else, he wanted to fish for a foul from the import. Didn't get the foul.
Well,
didn't get the basket either.
One thing you can say about J.B. Gayoso, subtlety was never his best suit. Alvin Tang, meanwhile, uses brute force underneath and produces the desired effect or result. They've got a 7-point lead at 16-9.
Ed, we were talking in the pregame about how aggressive San Miguel Beer must be off the boards, and so far Alvin Teng has provided the aggressiveness.
J.B. Gayoso right there with a smooth jumper. And a lot of female fans are happy. 5-point lead for San Miguel Beer. 5 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Alan Kaidik against Wilmer Ong. Ato Agustin trying to draw attention to what he perceived as a shove from behind. Didn't get the foul he was looking for. We have a timeout by San Miguel Beer. Baka nagpaplano kayong pumunta rito sa Cuneta Astrodome. Huwag na. Puno na po. Manood na lang kayo sa TV. You've got the best seats in the house. The count stands at 16-11. San Miguel Beer with a 5-point lead. 5 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
And the fans here are enjoying every minute of this action-packed ball game. They also know, they realize the importance of this game. And as we near the end of the elimination phase of the PBA second conference, you can expect much more action and drama. We call it the suspense theater of the PBA.
Well, J.B. Gayoso now hitting that same kind of a jumper on the other side of the Tondenya front court, and he cuts the lead down to 3 again. The trigger man drills in his first triple V of the evening.
Outside shooting for San Miguel Beer. So no chance for the interior physical defense of Tondenya to get to work.
Rapido Harencio is in for Nonoy Chuatico, the first replacement in the Tondenya lineup in this first quarter. Wiggins finds Gayoso inside. He's up against Billy Martin. So what, says Gayoso, but Wilmer all alone for that offensive rebound and putback. San Miguel Beer lead is down to 4 at 19-15. Biggest lead so far established by San Miguel Beer in the first quarter, 7 points. Billy Martin against Ong. Kaidik against Gayoso. JV Gayoso saw it coming, tried to get closer to Kaidik as he saw Alan Kaidik preparing to pull the trigger, but he was long gone by the time he got there.
Back-to-back missiles by Alan Kaidik from Triple B territory, no less.
Meanwhile, Art De La Cruz seems to be doing a good job on Mitchell Wiggins. The prolific import of Tondenya has only been able to score 3 points so far. And Art De La Cruz has been able to force some errors on the part of Mitch Wiggins. Martin on a turnaround jumper against Wilmer Ong. But referee Bartolome saw something amiss. Second personal foul as well for the import of San Miguel Beer, so they're even Steven now with Mitchell Wiggins. Meanwhile, Benny Cheng comes in for JV Gayoso on the Tondenya side.
And Cheng, another defensive workhorse. And you can see how Coach Robert Jaworski is trying to establish the defensive nature of his game.
Wiggins trying it from the outside. Nolly looks in. He is top scoring for Tondenya 65 Brum. He's got 8 of the 17 points of the 65ers.
And did you notice how Bill Martin offered only token resistance that time?
Yeah.
He didn't want to commit his third personal foul too early in the game with
early.
3:16 to go in the first quarter.
Ato Agustin, despite the tight defense put on him by Pido Harencio, scores off the fake. And again, it's a 7-point lead for San Miguel Beer, 24-17. Harencio to Benny Cheng. There's the double team. Cheng looking for the open man. Finds Wilmer Ong. Whoa.
Wilmer Ong wide open.
Earlier, he was able to make that same shot. Meanwhile, Billy Martin is blocked and fouled. Benny Cheng will be called for the foul. His first personal. We have a timeout by Tondenya 65. Two minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the first quarter of this ball game between San Miguel Beer and Tondenya 65 Rum. It is a 7-point lead by San Miguel Beer. Billy Martin is at the line for 2 shots.
Mitchell Wiggins, as you were mentioning earlier, shackled so far in this game, just a 3-point output by the usually prolific import of Tondenya, as Bill Martin cans his first free throw. Martin, 31 years old, native of Washington, D.C., second-round draft choice, the Indiana Pacers in 1985.
Well, he's certainly getting the better of the matchup between him and Mitch Wiggins. He already has 9 points in the game. And this is the biggest lead of San Miguel Beer, a 9-pointer over Tondenya, 26-17. Pido Harencio with a tight shot. Loose ball foul spotted by referee Rivera on that rebound scuffle. That's going to be Wilmer Ong, and it's penalty situation for Tondenya, so 2 shots again for Billy Martin.
And team foul situation, 17 fouls for Tondenya and only 3 for San Miguel Beer, Ed.
Yes. And looks like San Miguel Beer is ready to capitalize on that particular advantage as Billy Martin again goes to the free throw line. We have B-Boy Ravanes coming in for Ato Agustin, Sonny Cabatu for Wilmer Ong on the Tondenya side.
Give you an update on the rebounding situation of this game, Ed. 8 rebounds for San Miguel Beer so far, 5 for Tondenya.
That's curious.
Yes, and we were talking about how important board work was going to be for both these clubs. Tondenya, of course, as we mentioned, leading the league in rebounding, 50.6 rebounds a game. And San Miguel Beer only averaging 40 rebounds a game, but looks like the tide has changed as far as that department is concerned so far in this game.
Mitch Wiggins sees an opening. 28-19. Well, you can limit the guy, but you certainly can't stop him from scoring.
That's right. The operative word for defending against Mitchell Wiggins is contain. They just need to contain him because they can't stop him completely.
A lot of turnovers in this ballgame on both ends of the court.
Now Alan Kaidik is down on the floor.
Yes,
and they'll stop the game with 4 seconds left in the shot clock. And
he's holding on to his right knee. Oh boy, this Norman Black doesn't need.
No, this is not a good sign. Already Norman Black's roster decimated by injured players. Dr. Ben Salud looking at Alan Kaidik. Let's hope it's not serious.
Well, his teammates are trying to get him to get up and actually trying to psych themselves out, trying to say, tell me it's not serious. Well, there you saw what happened. He actually collided with Mitch Wiggins even before he went down. Probably hit his right knee there, and that look of concern from the face of Coach Norman Black, we've seen that so many times in this conference before.
He's being carried off the floor, so it looks like it was a bad collision of the knee. You know, you've got to hand it to Alan Kaidik. You remember in that replay, he already fell down after that collision. Still, he had the presence of mind to grab the basketball and pass it off to an open teammate. He didn't want to give up the fast break layup to Mitchell Wiggins. What heart being displayed here by Alan Kaidik.
Well, that's the mark of a good basketball player.
Let's look at that again.
Here. There's the collision. I believe it happened there.
Yes, and he's down on the floor now. He's hurt. At this point, he's already hurt. But he kept the handle on the basketball, passed it off to an open teammate. He did not want to give up the transition basket. What a play.
Atto Agustin got a good look at the basket there, but missed the shot. Benny Cheng gets it over to Mitch Wiggins. But San Miguel quick to come down on defense. There's B-Boy Rabanes together with Art de la Cruz harassing Mitch Wiggins. Sonny Cabato has got this move down pat. He knows what to do with the basketball now, facing the hoop. Sonny Cabato certainly developed that move.
And Cabato going strong to the hoop, realizing also that Bill Martin was the last line of defense for San Miguel Beer. And Martin, I think Cabato realized, is not going to give up his third personal foul this early.
Well, Sonny Cabato giving up that foul right after his brief moment with glory in that last play. Meantime, we have Benny Cheng being recalled to the bench by Coach Jaworski in favor of Joey Loizaga.
And the journeyman Bill Martin, who before playing here in the Philippines, played in Italy, in Israel, in Switzerland, played for the Indiana Pacers, the New York Knicks, and the Phoenix Suns in the NBA.
Boy, he gets around.
Yes, quite a career he's had.
Nine-point lead for San Miguel Beer. 1 minute, 29 seconds remaining. First quarter action here.
Here's the half-court press of San Miguel Beer.
Wiggins now taking on Art de la Cruz one-on-one. Goes for the three-point shot from right quarter court. Mitch Wiggins surprised everybody there. And he cuts the lead down to 6.
He anticipated that pass. Here we go. A nice pass. A basket.
Perfectly executed fast break play there between Wiggins and Pido Haresio. Haresio running the wings. Now the track. And a 5-second violation on San Miguel Beer.
And what a change of pace here by the Tandenya defense, Ed.
That's the element of surprise that you have to spring whenever you want to trap the other team.
That's right, because San Miguel Beer did not anticipate it. A lot of the players were already down court. There was no one to help Atto Agustin get the basketball off the double team.
The lead is down to 4. Wiggins! Wiggins!
Shake and bake move by Mitchell Wiggins. Then staying with the basketball. Offensive tip-in, a nice follow-up.
Mitch Wiggins making up for lost time and now scoring his 10th point. And moreover, cutting the lead down to 2. Billy Martin trying to get it back. Joey Loizaga scrambling for the loose ball. He loses it to the baseline. The lead down to 2, down from 11 at 28-17. So now Tondenia has outscored San Miguel 11-2 in this closing stretch.
Well, all it took was for someone to light the fire on the shooting hand of Mitchell Wiggins, and he has exploded here.
12 seconds to go in the first quarter. Don Polistico, by the way, is in for B-Boy Rabanes, or rather for Art de la Cruz. Meantime, B-Boy Rabanez scores from within. And that will be the end of the first quarter. A 4-point lead by San Miguel Beer. Mitch Wiggins trying to start off the second quarter with a basket, but he misses. As we start the second quarter, it is a 4-point advantage by San Miguel Beer. Ato Agustin has the leather against Pido Harencio. Here's Udoy Belmonte in the ballgame for the first time. And B-Boy Rabanez almost got to the offensive rebound. Referee Bartolome calls it in favor of the red shirts of San Miguel Beer.
Now here's an opportunity for Mitchell Wiggins to make hay while the sun is shining, since Art de la Cruz, who gave him problems early in this game, is sitting on the bench. It will be B-Boy Rabanez who will be taking on Mitchell Wiggins on defense.
Meanwhile, Pido Harencio sticking like a leash to Ato Agustin. Harencio picks up his first personal foul here in the first minute of the second period. Udoy Belmonte.
A lot of pressure now on Ato Agustin to pick up the scoring slack, since Alan Kaidik came down with an injury earlier.
Offensive rebounding here by San Miguel Beer. So Dong Police took on Billy Martin as if they were just picking apples there. And that got San Miguel off to another 6-point lead at 34-28 to start the second quarter. Harencio looking inside. Bobby Jose is in the game for the first time. He's up against Billy Martin. Bobby Jose looking inside. Challenges Martin, loses possession, but Sonny Cabato is there.
Very active inside the lane. Sonny Cabato, you've got to be active, because who knows if there's a loose ball there.
Yeah.
You might find yourself open for a shot.
Look at Ato Agustin just leaving Pido Harencio behind. Nobody there to help out as the San Miguel squad cleared out for Ato Agustin in that particular play. Here's a triple team on Mitch Wiggins. That opens up Pido Harencio, and he gets his 3-point shot.
And Mitchell Wiggins likes that. Off the triple team, he knew exactly where to pass off to.
Pretty basic there, but
Yes.
it worked.
But I think he's also now very familiar with the movements of his players. He knows which of his teammates will be able to hit the outside shot. And of course, I think he's earned the respect of, or Pido Harencio has actually earned the respect of Mitchell Wiggins as an outside shooter. First quarter rebounding story. San Miguel Beer with 10 retrieves as against only 7 for Tandenya. That was a big reason why San Miguel Beer was able to sprint to that lead, even as Tandenya shot 62% from the field and San Miguel Beer only 59%.
San Miguel is still going about its rebounding prowess, but a big block by Sonny Cabato there on Billy Martin, no less. It will stay with San Miguel Beer, though.
Drawing a loud gasp here from the fans.
Well, and a lot of the Tandenya fans are now applauding Sonny Cabato. But make no mistake about it, a big contingent of San Miguel Beer fans are on hand here at the Cuneta Astrodome, and they're not about to just fold up against the very animated Tandenya crowd. Belmonte seems to have gotten a license to shoot here, but so far he has not produced anything.
That's right, he's attempted thrice, and 2 of those 3 attempts were actually open shots.
Yes, Jun Marzana is in the ballgame for the first time for Tandenya. Gave the pass to Bobby Jose, who missed from the top of the key. Here's Ato Agustin for San Miguel Beer. They're up by 3 points at 36-33. Agustin, this is it. Here comes Udoy Belmonte again. Finally, he gets his 2 points. But I'll tell you what, this rookie, Udoy Belmonte, is not lacking in guts and grit. He's not about to lose his composure. While Mitch Wiggins just attacks the weak defense there in the San Miguel Beer formation.
Wiggins making it look so easy on that bicycle move.
Lead is down to 3 again. 8 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Ravanes had no chance in the world to sink that. Wiggins looking around, finds Marzan, who misses from underneath on the reverse. Marzan with a steal. Sonny Cabato completes it, finds Wiggins downstairs, attacks Dom Polistico, and Wiggins gets it back. The 2 points from Mitch Wiggins cuts the lead down to 1 at 38-37.
What can he not do?
Yes.
He misses the shot, gets the offensive rebound, puts in the basket.
14 points now for Mitch Wiggins, who started off a bit slowly in this ball game. Double team on Martin.
Can you believe, Ed, that Mitchell Wiggins was about to be replaced by another import?
Well, that's all water under the bridge now, I guess, because Mitch Wiggins certainly has endeared himself to the fans of Tandenia as well, I suppose, as the bench of this team. Pido Harencio. He's one of the locals you were mentioning at the top of the game, or top of the coverage, who can score for Tandenia 65. Billy Martin gets flipped by June Marzan. Well, Marzan certainly spoiled what would have been a big basket there by Martin. Again, Martin goes to the free throw line. He's been scoring a bundle from there.
Marzan almost sacrificing himself in that play to stop the layup by Bill Martin. Martin played for Georgetown University. A teammate of Patrick Ewing. Also a former teammate of the former Pepsi import Terry McDonald, who played in the PBA in 1991. Martin, an 80% free throw shooter.
And he ups the lead of San Miguel again to 5 points, 42-37. 7 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the second period. By the way, in our first game, Alaska notched its 6th win here in the elimination round at the expense of Shell Rimula X, 102-92.
That's the 7th win.
Oh, 7th win, I'm sorry.
That's right. Alaska is now 7-2, leading the pack here in the second conference eliminations.
Yes. Their 6th win, of course, was over San Miguel Beer. Was it? In Dumaguete. Meantime, we have Art de la Cruz coming back for B-Boy Ravanes. Art de la Cruz was assigned to Mitch Wiggins in the first quarter.
Oh, the 6th win of Alaska, Ed, was over Swift.
Oh, okay.
That was last July 19. Second quarter rebounding so far, San Miguel Beer. Oh, what a dominant show off the boards. 11-3, edge.
Dog Polistico backing up against Bobby Jose. Polistico had the edge and buck and height there against Bobby Jose.
That was an obvious mismatch. All Polistico has to do is to shoot over Bobby Jose each time out.
Well,
illegal defense.
Yes, and Ato Agustin could not even get himself to complain about the call. He just found himself all alone there.
Art de la Cruz back in the basketball game. You know whom he's going to try to defend.
Here's Harencio.
And they're double teaming Mitchell Wiggins each time out. He still gets off the shot.
And Billy Martin unable to hang on to the rebound. 6 minutes, 44 seconds to go. Second quarter action here between Tandenia 65 Rum and San Miguel Beer. June Marzan gets it inside the paint. A gutsy move there by Marzan.
Yes, and a nice swirl move by the rookie.
His first personal, second team foul for San Miguel Beer.
Dog Polistico with his first personal foul. That's team foul number 2 for San Miguel here in the second quarter. Tandenia so far has given up 3.
Marzan, this is his second game, second appearance in the second conference. His first trip to the line.
There's 2 points for June Marsan. Cuts the lead down to 4 at 44-40. Second quarter action here. Agustin. Martin against Cabato. Whoa, Udoy Del Monte. Udoy Belmonte now has 6 rebounds. He has been positioning well inside the blue paint, 4 of them offensive boards.
And talk about precision.
Mitch Wiggins now has 17 in the game. (46-42), 4-point lead for San Miguel Beer. Art de la Cruz against Wiggins. Out to Belmonte against Harencio. Belmonte inside. As we said, he seems to have a license to shoot, and as Sonny Cabato goes for the rebound, Don Polistico going after Sonny Cabato.
And Polistico and Cabato, you don't want to get in between those two giants.
We have a timeout.
Double technical foul, Sonny Cabato, Don Polistico.
The plot thickens here at the game between San Miguel Beer and Tondenia. 65 run, but it's just a 4-point lead by San Miguel. Earlier we saw Sonny Cabato and Don Polistico exchanging colorful words.
Now they were slapped with a double technical foul.
Meanwhile, Wiggins just going about his business.
Another sweet shot by Mitchell. We understand from the dressing room of San Miguel Beer that Alan Kaidik will not be able to play again in this game. Let's hope it's not a serious knee injury that he suffered. His knee feels a little gimpy at this stage. They will definitely go to the hospital and have an x-ray taken so that they will know the extent of the damage, but he will not be able to play in this game any longer. So another handicap here in personnel for San Miguel Beer.
So what, that makes 5?
That's right, 5 players not able to play in this game. And June Marsan moving in for the easy layup. Marsan from Alaminos, Pangasinan.
That's Porfirio Marsan Jr. 48-46, 2-point lead for San Miguel Beer. 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Don Polistico moving against Bobby Jose. And a foul is going to be called on Jose. And there's Alan Kaidik being attended to. Well, the word is from Chile that they're hoping that it's just a contusion, but they can't take any chances, can they?
Yes, that's right. Dr. Ben Salud attending to Alan Kaidik. And you see there in the background the concerned look on the faces of San Miguel Beer Senior Vice President Zara Vendaño and Treasurer. And also we spotted Assistant Coach Pilo Pumaren. Alex Claudio also from the San Miguel Beer staff in the frame. Alan Kaidik still in the dressing room. He will most likely be going to the hospital shortly for an x-ray.
Now remember that in the short time that Alan Kaidik played in this ball game, scored 8 points, including 2 triples. Well, that's a lot taken away from the arsenal of San Miguel Beer in this ball game.
Otto Agustin, well, the pressure now is on his shoulders to pick up the scoring slack.
June Marsan is called for the foul. That's going to be foul number 2 on him. Watch it here. Got him on the forehead, says referee Rivera. Tondenia 65, again in the penalty now with their 5th team foul. San Miguel Beer has committed a total of 3 so far. Otto Agustin.
If you look at the formation that Tondenia has here in the front court of San Miguel Beer, they only have 4 players there because Mitchell Wiggins is already waiting for the pass on the other side of the court.
Yeah. Of course, Art de la Cruz was keeping him company.
That's right. Sabi nila, two can play this game.
Back to a 4-point lead by San Miguel Beer.
Locsin begging for the pass.
Locsin against Teng. A lot of tenacity there on the part of Noli Locsin, but he couldn't get the shot to stay down. Art de la Cruz with the rebound, forward to Doy Belmonte. Here's Alvin Teng looking inside, finds Agustin there. Well, Agustin got intimidated with the presence of Mitch Wiggins right alongside him.
That's right, he had an open shot.
But he flubbed it. Sonny Cabato, lob pass intended for Wiggins, broken up by Art de la Cruz.
Well, not high enough.
And Billy Martin gets his 2 points and ups the lead of San Miguel Beer to 6 at 52-46. Three minutes and 20 seconds to go. This is the second period of this ball game.
Mitchell Wiggins, 9 points in this quarter. I spoke too soon. Make that 11 points. He's got 21 in this ball game so far.
Good eye contact between Pido Harencio and Mitch Wiggins.
Parang hindi napapawisan dito si Mitchell Wiggins. Did you see how he went up for that alley-oop?
Almost effortlessly.
Yes.
San Miguel Beer lead is 4. Referee Bartolome calls a foul. This one is going to go against Sonny Cabato. That's going to be number 2. And look at that.
Silky smooth move there by Mitchell Wiggins.
Picture perfect. We have a timeout by Norman Black. Good evening once again, Philippines. This is Ed Pixon together with Quinito Henson for Vintage Sports and the game between San Miguel Beer and Tondenya 65 Rum. We still have 2 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And it's a 4-point lead for San Miguel Beer. Billy Martin at the line for 2. Tondenya 65 already in the penalty. San Miguel has 2 fouls to give in this period.
Martin keeping in step with Mitchell Wiggins for scoring honors. Martin already with, is it 22 points?
22, yes.
Now 23.
Si Boyo ka ang pumbagat. May pagkwentuhan pa kasi.
Mitchell Wiggins, 21 points. Here's the pressure. And Alvin Teng will give up a foul. San Miguel Beer not yet in penalty situation. That will only be the 4th team foul. But you notice how San Miguel Beer applying the half-court pressure defense. Something that we talked about in the pre-game. The defensive pressure of San Miguel Beer has become a trademark for this team.
Wilmer Ong gets it back to Pido Harencio. Harencio with nowhere to go.
We'll talk about defensive pressure that time. Harencio issuing the bad pass, no one there to receive it. You gotta have to credit that to the defensive pressure being applied by San Miguel Beer, and they're starting that from the half court.
And after that error, Coach Jaworski says, Pido, you better take a rest. Nonoy Chuatico is in for him. Six-point lead by San Miguel Beer. Here's up. Ato Agustin.
And he took a tumble.
Well,
he's down on the floor.
He really sped by everybody there and could not contain his momentum as he went down. Look at this. He was going so fast, he could not contain his momentum. Maybe he also tripped on something there.
Well, actually, he looked at whether the basket was going to go in or not.
Yeah. It's a natural reaction, really, of a player. You look back and want to know immediately
kung pumasok o hindi.
Ayaw niya mahuli sa balita.
And that's the reason why he took a tumble. I think he tripped on his own momentum. But it was a good thing that he did. He rolled with the fall. And so he took parang a somersault somewhat to be able to break the fall. Good move there on the part of Ato Agustin. And Wilmer Ong, I think, now will be called for a personal.
Those free throws that they've been giving San Miguel Beer are sure adding up. They also gave up a lot in the first quarter. Now here in the second period, they already have 8 team fouls. And as you can see, Coach Jaworski is not too happy about that.
A huge amount of credit must go to Alvin Teng for keeping San Miguel Beer very aggressive on the boards. Here's more pressure defense from San Miguel Beer right at the backcourt. Locsin now has to bring the ball up. Coast-to-coast drive. End line to end line.
He's another guy who has a very hard time trying to contain his momentum. Once it gets going, there's nowhere else to go but to the hole.
And Locsin, didn't someone give him the nickname the Tank?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Something he must work on is his free throw shooting. You saw his stats flashing the screen, 57% clip from the stripe.
Oh, that certainly can stand some improvement.
Certainly not something to boast about. Gayoso, Mr. Instant Offense, a kamikaze kid, back in the basketball game. Big numbers here for Noli Locsin, but missing both free throws.
Could have been bigger.
And could it be Art de la Cruz with a foul?
Too small foul. Yes, on Art de la Cruz. Eagle eyes there by referee Bainadesmo, who came from all the way down midcourt. And the Astrodome started off with a full house. We still have a full house as we go into the third quarter of this game between Tondenia 65 Rum and San Miguel Beer. We have San Miguel Beer with a nice finishing kick in the second period to lead by 13, and this is the halftime summary. Rebound story was really in favor of San Miguel Beer here, Kenito.
Yes, as well as a free throw situation. You notice San Miguel Beer 24 out of 29 free throws in the first half, as against only 5 out of 10 for Tondenia. And therein really lies a big difference here. 13-point lead by San Miguel Beer, and in free throws alone, San Miguel Beer has outscored Tondenia by 19.
Well, you heard the applause, and you know what that's all about. You saw the playing coach of Tondenia 65 Rum, Robert Jaworski, just reporting for duty for the first time in this ball game.
Well, he's made it a practice to check in at the start of the second half, and you were mentioning that the people here at the Astrodome have not moved an inch, have not budged an inch. Well, I think they were expecting the entry here of Robert Jaworski, and I'm sure the fans here are now no longer disappointed because the Big J is on the court playing for the first time tonight.
Meanwhile, Art de la Cruz picks up his third personal foul as Sonny Jaworski hesitated, thought about a three-point shot, decided in the last moment to pass, and Mitch Wiggins had already moved. Certainly a lot of work to do for Tondenia 65 Rum.
Now, Jaworski's job is to try to contain Ato Agustin, and that's a tough defensive assignment for a 48-year-old player. Mitchell Wiggins.
Oh, this is gone. Art de la Cruz knew it, gave him the shot. The lead is 11 points. Remember, San Miguel Beer built that 13-point lead at the end of the second quarter without the help of Alan Kaidik, since Kaidik went down early in the ball game after a collision with Mitch Wiggins that hurt his knee. Billy Martin from right quarter court missing. I saw Alex Claudio just before I came up for the third quarter, and he says they believe it's just a bruise that Alan Kaidik suffered. Meanwhile, J.B. Gayoso connects on the layup.
And San Miguel Beer has not scored in the third period so far. A 4-0 blast here by Tondenia to open the half. I spoke too soon.
Well, Udoy Belmonte certainly doing a good relief job here as Mitch Wiggins attacks the hoop.
Well, he's got a pattern on that move. It's a bicycle move. He takes that from the outside, but he's able to elude his defender, and no help defense that time from San Miguel Beer to stop the penetration.
Again, the lead is chopped down to 9 at 68-59. 2 minutes gone by here in the third. Billy Martin against Sonny Cabatu. There's the spin, and it's going to be a three-point play opportunity for Billy Martin.
Yes, and Robert Jaworski telling Sonny Cabatu, pabayaan mo na. When he's by you, no need to give up the foul because he'll just pick up the 2 points plus the bonus. You see Sonny Jaworski telling Sonny Cabatu, bakit pare?
3-point play by Billy Martin on the third personal foul of Sonny Cabatu.
And no opportunity there for transition.
And the lead is 12 for San Miguel. Wiggins. Well, Luxin gets away. 71-61. San Miguel in the lead with 9.5 minutes remaining in the third. Ato Agustin. And there's the pick by Billy Martin. Oh, blocked by Luxin. Well, Sonny Cabato and Noli Luxin conniving there to stop Ato Agustin.
Now, Bill Martin was complaining because there appeared to be a shove. There you go. Couple of shoves there from Robert Jaworski.
Billy Martin got his points.
There you go with that bicycle move once more, and another basket for Mitchell Wiggins. I think the idea here of Robert Jaworski is to sort of rile up Bill Martin, sort of rough him up, make him lose his cool.
Warning on Tandenya 65, round Mitchell Wiggins for delay of game.
Delay of game warning on Tandenya. They are behind by 10. 9:06 to go in the third.
Now remember, Mitchell Wiggins with 3 personal fouls, only 2 personal fouls on Bill Martin, the San Miguel beer import.
Udoy Belmonte.
And it's Wiggins and Martin.
And looks in, high up for the rebound, but Udoy Belmonte from behind. Referee by Ledesma, however, will call the foul.
Almost a steal by Belmonte after that power rebound. Look at that here, very authoritatively. But he put the ball on the floor. He did not pass off. And Belmonte almost had a swipe from the blind side of Noli Luxin, the rookie.
Second personal foul on Udoy Belmonte. Second team foul on San Miguel Beer here in the third. Gayoso gets the pass from Jaworski. Off the window. Amy Gayoso. Now with 10 points in the game. And they cut it down to a single-digit deficit again. 73-65. San Miguel on top. And heavy traffic inside.
And Sonny Cabato saying that there was a collision between Belmonte and Martin. It didn't involve him, so why call the foul?
But it's Gayoso who's being called for the foul, actually.
Yes. Gayoso committed a foul before that collision between the two, San Miguel Beermen.
8 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the third. Martin looking around. Kicks it out to Ato Agustin. Nice pass to Udoy Belmonte. And the lead is back to 10. Big J crosses center line.
Isolation here from Mitchell Wiggins. You see he's the only player on the strong side. There you go again, a bicycle move.
That one bounces in.
And somehow San Miguel Beer must find a way to stop that bicycle move of Mitchell Wiggins. Maybe play denial. But he's been getting away with that penetration.
Double team on Martin, and he sees Art De La Cruz downstairs.
A perfect execution of a play. Mitchell Wiggins.
Side pass delivered by Sonny Jaworski off the double team. Ato Agustin with the steal. And Cabato will give up another foul. That's going to be number 4 on Sonny Cabato. 7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the third.
And more free throws being given here to the Beermen.
Ato Agustin has been scoring a lot from the free throw line tonight.
And he's also averaging 4.5 assists a ball game. .96% free throw shooter.
Not too many players can boast of a percentage of the free throw line that high, especially with a guy who takes a lot of free throws. Noli looks in, ill-advised move. Ato Agustin has a step ahead, and he gets it for goal.
And Ato Agustin knew that foul was coming,
threw up a prayer. The San Miguel Beer fans in an uproar because there appeared to be a deliberate attempt to hack Ato Agustin. There was no call for a deliberate. They'll just give him an ordinary foul, but look at this hacking move.
Looks like, let's see, for a while there, referee Rivera was all set to call a technical foul, but he thought the better of it since a lot of complaints were being registered from the San Miguel Beer bench. I'll tell you what, the fans here certainly are very involved, and the battle lines are drawn.
That's right, a 15-point lead opened up by San Miguel Beer despite playing with a personnel handicap. And what a swipe by Bill Martin. And a counter swipe. And another counter swipe.
Not a bad pass, more of a bad pass there by Sonny Cabato, picked off by Udoy Belmonte. This is the biggest lead of the game, 15 points for San Miguel Beer. 6.5 minutes remaining in the third. Ato Agustin against Sonny Jaworski. Billy Martin coming out. He'll get the pass. Here's Art de la Cruz. Udoy Belmonte. As we said, this rookie has been showing a lot of grit in this ball game. He knows that a lot is expected of him, what with the decimation of the lineup of San Miguel Beer, and he's really giving it his all.
Wrong.
Yes.
Back in the game, yes, you were talking about the decimation here of San Miguel Beer. They're missing a lot with their two point guards out of action, Hector Calma and Franz Pumare, not able to play. They've had to go with Ato Agustin playing the point guard position, and that has brought up Udoy Belmonte playing the number 2 guard position. And he's certainly soaking up the minutes here.
Meanwhile, he misses both charities. And Luxin's pass is picked off by Alvin Tang. Look at this. There's Belmonte. 84-67. Big 17-point spread here by San Miguel Beer in the third. Wiggins trying to bring Tondenya back by his lonesome. J.B. Gayoso. Finally, Noli Luxin, and he'll get a bonus. First foul on Ato Agustin, 13th foul on San Miguel Beer. We have a timeout by Tondenya. Exciting basketball action here between San Miguel Beer and Tondenya 65 Rum. Currently a 15-point lead by San Miguel Beer. 84-69, 5 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Noli Luxin with a bonus shot.
Ed, we were talking about Udoy Belmonte. He has gone 5 out of 8 from the field in this game. He scored 10 points. That is a career pro high for Udoy Belmonte. His previous high was 7 points. He did not play for San Miguel Beer in the first conference. He was signed up here for the second conference.
I believe he was drafted by Swift, right?
That's right, because he was a replacement for Samboy Lim, who is injured. Now Alvin Teng called for the personal foul.
Yes, loose ball foul on Teng in this particular bit of action. You see the jockeying for position there. Meantime, Noli Luxin sits down, and Bobby Jose is back in action here for Tondenya 65. Mitch Wiggins against Art de la Cruz. That has been the matchup. There's the double team. Wiggins is fouled.
That'll be team foul number 5 for San Miguel Beer. Now Horencio has not been a factor offensively in this game.
No, he's not. He's only got 5 points, including 1 3-point shot.
And no doubt Coach Robert Jaworski will want to get Horencio's offense going here in the third period. He's got to be able to make up his average. There he tried, but didn't get the basket.
5 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the third. It is a 14-point lead by San Miguel Beer at 84-70. Billy Martin working against Wilmer Ong. And as he tries to get inside,
Foul Wilmer Ong.
Wilmer Ong will be charged with his 5th personal, I believe.
And it's back to
Yes.
the strike for Bill Martin as Tondenya now in penalty situation. That's the 16th foul. 4:54 left here in the third quarter.
Boy, they've given up a lot of free throws. We're talking about Tondenya 65, and San Miguel Beer has made good use of those charities awarded them. Back in the first half, they had more than 20.
That's right. They went 24 out of 29.
29. While Tondenya could only afford 5 out of 10. As you look at Councilor Franz Pumaran, he'll have to be satisfied with cheering his team on. Team, of course, is San Miguel Beer. 16-point lead for the Beermen. Here's Wiggins. Now has B-Boy Ravanes in front of him. There's the double team. Pido Haresio can't get a shot off. Mitch Wiggins gets inside. Sani Cabatu trying for the putback. Wiggins!
Couple of attempts there by Mitchell Wiggins, finally putting it in. He's got such an amazing second leap.
Remember that going into this ball game, San Miguel Beer toted a 4-win, 4-loss card. GINEBRA, or rather Tondenya 65, 3 wins and 5 losses. Ato Agustin. Udoy Belmonte with an offensive rebound.
And drawing a round of applause from the appreciative San Miguel fans.
Bad pass by Billy Martin, picked up by Sani Cabato. He'll have to give it up. Let's see. Referee Bartolome calls a foul on Mitch Wiggins.
That'll be number 4.
Yes.
And again, the hustle of Udoy Belmonte preventing Mitchell Wiggins from going straight up to the hoop. Now, Belmonte had a steal. He had possession, but he was pushed out by Mitchell Wiggins, and that was the reason why the referees blew the whistle.
And Sonny Jaworski talking to Sonny Cabato. He should have given up the ball a lot earlier. Should not have gambled in trying to put the ball down in a fast break situation. And then was forced into a bad outlet that costed them a lot of problems, really. The possession and then the 4th personal foul on Mitch Wiggins. Here's Billy Martin getting an open shot.
Execution on the part of San Miguel Beer. Almost flawless that time. Well, you might say flawless, not just almost, because they made the shot. Good execution there, and Bill Martin getting free for that jumper.
Lead is 16. Sonny Cabato. Harencio's open shot won't go, and Wiggins underneath. He's been trying to get his team back into the thick of things, but so far he's only been able to cut the lead down to 14 points. 3 minutes to go in the third period.
And you notice that on offense, it's Udoy Belmonte taking on Robert Jaworski. And
yes.
That might be a cue for the Big J to try to be more offense conscious because he's going up against a rookie. But Coach Robert Jaworski more content to pass the ball rather than go for the hoop.
Well, he's a fast rookie. We've got a timeout here by San Miguel. Two minutes and 48 seconds remaining here in this ball game between San Miguel Beer and Tondenya 65 Remen. San Miguel threatening to put this ball game away this early in the third quarter.
Well, somehow Tondenya can't seem to make headway because San Miguel Beer is playing so precision basketball.
Pido Harencia gets the fast break going. Off the tap by Jaworski. The outlet by Wiggins, and the lead is down to 12. Well, still a long ways to go, Kinito. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
That's right, and if Tondenya can continue to keep this pace up, scoring in transition, similar to what they did early on, they may be able to chip away at this lead. Another offensive board here for Belmonte. He's playing the game of his life.
Oh, yes.
He's got 12 points.
Missed the shot, got the rebound,
He's
and
all
the
hustle.
follow-up.
All hustle tonight.
Here's Jaworski.
Now remember the point we were making. Somehow Robert Jaworski not too offense conscious. He's got Udoy Belmonte on him. They're trying to work the ball now. Two-man game.
Nice give and go, but it took Mitch Wiggins to put the ball in as Kevin Ramos intimidated Pido Horencio underneath.
I'm not even sure if he intended that ball to go in.
Yeah.
It was a wild tap, but the ball falling through the hoop. Credit that basket to Mitchell Wiggins.
Well, as they say, they're going to take it where they can get it. Billy Martin with Bobby Jose sticking close to him. Kevin Ramos inside to B-Boy Ravanes. And here's Mitch Wiggins.
Now he's being met up high by B-Boy Ravanes.
As you said, that's his favorite bicycle move right there. He can really get you because it's sort of an offbeat shot.
Yes. And he took that with just one hand. And the lead now cut down to 10.
With a minute and 5 to go in the third.
Remember, at the end of the half, the lead was
13
points.
Martin. That's going to be a warning off foul.
And he knew it. He knew it. He turned his back immediately. Did not contest that call.
57 seconds remaining in this third
yes,
quarter.
He took that shot. Pretty similar to the bicycle move of Mitchell Wiggins.
Yes.
Siguro sabi niya, kaya mo, kaya ko rin. Now San Miguel Beer in penalty situation. So Mitchell Wiggins will go to the stripe.
Wiggins with 40 points. As we take a look at the face of the day, she's Miss Maria Elena Tuico. Friends usually call her Marielle. She's 24 years old and a optometrist by profession, a graduate of CEU in Manila. And her favorite team is none other than Tondenya 65 Rum. She's our face of the day. She gets, to have a good time at Faces.
Mitchell Wiggins once played for the Chicago Bulls. Played 4 years with the Houston Rockets. Rockets, of course, the new NBA champions.
42 seconds to go in the third. The lead of San Miguel Beer cut down to just 8 points now at 90-82. Billy Martin. There's the switch. Ravanes back to Martin. And he'll have to get his points from the free throw line. Sonny Jaworski with his second personal foul.
2 free throws for Billy Martin.
And no way Bill Martin was going to have an easy shot that time. He was sandwiched there between the burly Noli Locsin and the equally burly Robert Jaworski. Check out his stats from the free throw line. He has missed only once. Now twice. Mitchell Wiggins, you see him on the court.
Well, he just came from the bench of San Miguel Beer where he borrowed somebody else's towel to wipe his face.
1 out of 2 for Bill Martin.
9-point lead here for San Miguel.
Time ticking away here in the third period. Mitchell Wiggins once more on the attack.
Last touch on Kevin Ramos. 20 seconds remaining in the third. As you hear Sonny Jaworski calling out instructions. They were going to take the last shot. Fooled everyone there, including his teammates.
And what a pass from Robert Jaworski. That's what you call a well-executed play.
Well, the Tondenya squad has always had these lightning quick knockout plays.
And you know, it may look easy or it may look surprising, but that's something that you practice for long hours at practice.
Yes. Almost, but not quite. As you said, Noli Locsin has a 57% average from the free throw line.
Robert Jaworski, you saw him earlier on your cube talking to Pido Horencio. 18.9 seconds, so San Miguel Beer will get back possession. May not have been a good idea for Tondenya to go straight to the hoop because San Miguel Beer now has a chance to close out the scoring here in the third period.
Well, apparently Jaworski just wanted to use the element of surprise. He made it clear to everyone that they were going to go for the last shot, and all of a sudden just delivered that lightning quick pass. Ato Agustin inside, and Wiggins is unable to beat the buzzer. San Miguel Beer has a 10-point lead going into the final 12 minutes of play. Astrodome, and this is how they scored the past 3 quarters. Tondenya 65 trying to catch up in the third, but as we start the fourth quarter, it is a 10-point lead for San Miguel Beer. Maupay nga gabi atong mga kasangkayan dila Region 8 labi na kan Monsignor Almacen dila San Miguel Region. Pwede pa kuutang dila. Sige na. Di ba?
Yes, we'd also like to greet our fans in Cotabato City. A lot of PBA followers in Cotabato City.
Art de la Cruz scoring inside. Alam mo sa Mindanao, Kinito, marami talagang mahilig dyan sa basketball. Of course, dito lang sa PBA, marami taga Mindanao rito. Si Alvin Teng, taga Davao yan. Jaworski, 3-point shot from the Big J at the Triple V. Listen to that crowd.
And we were talking about how the Big J may want to consider being more offense conscious in the third period. He did not take a single attempt in the third period. He's opened up the fourth quarter here with his guns blazing from 3-point range. Here's Billy Martin. He's blocked. Billy Martin has possession. He wants to go up.
That was a loud
3-point play.
Tap by Noli Locsin.
Tenacious rebounding there by Bill Martin, Ed.
You know, Kinito, when Jaworski drilled in that 3-point shot, somebody here said, pwede na umuwi.
That's all they were waiting for.
You know how the fans really love it when the Big J shows off his wares. And we've got a ball game here between San Miguel and Tondenya 65.
And Ed, what a fundamental mistake on the part of Tondenya. They did not box out the shooter from the line. That's something that you learn at practice many times over. You've got to be able to box out the shooter.
Travel on Billy Martin.
Billy Martin caught lifting his pivot foot.
Yes.
Let's look at that here. He takes a whirl around. Yes, there was traveling.
There.
Of course, there was also that tap and the hack by Noli Locsin.
Hey, we almost got entangled there.
Yes, but the traveling preceded that contact by Noli Locsin.
10.5 to go in the ball game. 11-point lead by San Miguel Beer.
They're trying to get Mitchell Wiggins the basketball. Bicycle move, yes!
Looks like the Tour de France. 97-88. The lead is down to 9. Ato Agustin against the Big J. Rabanes. Here's Martin against Locsin.
And once more giving up the foul. They're not double teaming Bill Martin on the outside. They're allowing him to drive in. Look at that here. No double coverage. And the double coverage that Robert Jaworski was thinking just came 2 steps too late.
Oh yes, much too late. That was the third personal foul on Noli Locsin. Second team foul for Tondenya here in the fourth quarter. Billy Martin misses the first free throw.
Now Martin has been missing from the free throw line. Last few times he's gone to the stripe. Maybe he's feeling the pressure. Maybe he's feeling fatigue. Somehow the stroke isn't as delicate as it was earlier.
Well, Tondenya certainly came back on rebounds in the third quarter. The first 2 quarters, they were out-rebounded by San Miguel Beer. But Mitch Wiggins is not done yet. He's got 46 points.
You know, despite the fact that Tondenya out-rebounded San Miguel Beer to the tune of 13-5 in the third period, somehow they were not able to convert or transform that advantage into baskets. San Miguel Beer, 55% from the field, 56% for Tondenya. And they're going to call another foul on Bill Martin for warding off the Tondenya fans.
Warding off foul on Billy Martin. That is his 5th personal foul. That is number 5 on Billy Martin.
Yes, and the Tondenya defense now meeting. They're challenging Bill Martin in his drive to the hoop. And then earlier I was mentioning about the Tondenya fans. They're up on their feet. An 8-point lead here by San Miguel Beer. They want the ball in this man's hands. Mitchell Wiggins.
Referee Byron Esmal will call Art de la Cruz 4th personal foul.
San Miguel Beer fans thinking that he might have traveled. or he might have lost his step before that contact by Art de la Cruz.
You know, I just confirmed that Billy Martin, out of his 5 personal fouls, 3 of them were offensive fouls, and almost in the same manner. Nolly looks in, strong move inside, no. Wiggins makes it.
And Mr. Wiggs once more off the offensive boards with a putback. He's slipping somewhat, but he's still in there.
6-point lead for San Miguel Beer. This was 116. Nolly looks in, will be called for his 4th personal foul. That is the 3rd team foul for Tondenya, 65 Rum. San Miguel has 2. 8 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the 4th and final quarter. Timeout called by Norman Black. Ayaw pa rin nila umuwi.
Sino naman uuwi sa ganito klaseng laro? 8:51 left here in the game.
98-92, it's a 6-point lead by San Miguel Beer. Remember, Alan Kadick is out of the ball game with a bruised knee, which he suffered early in this ball game. Billy Martin is playing with a handicap. He has 5 personal fouls. So the card's stacked against San Miguel Beer, but they do have this 6-point lead. Martin tied up by Wiggins.
And Bill Martin telling the referee, hold it. They got my hand, not the ball. Let's look at that here. Mitchell Wiggins coming from the blind side of Bill Martin, so to speak. He had to turn around because Benny Cheng was blocking his path to the basket. Here's Mitchell Wiggins telling the mop man, here, this is where you wipe. He just wanted to take a few moments of rest. Smart guy, Mitchell Wiggins, the man with the red shoes.
Yeah. The tap goes to Pino Harencio. Harencio on the run. Ato Agustin is in front of him. He cops out. Benny Cheng coming in from the backcourt, thinking about it. Out to Jaworski. Talking about Benny Cheng, he came in from Nolly Luxin during the timeout, by the way. Harencio has it. They've got 10 seconds on the shot clock. Sani Kabatu against Billy Martin. Well, he knew that Martin already had 5 personal fouls, and you know where he got his instructions.
Very methodical play. They worked the ball inside. Only 1 field goal for San Miguel Beer in the last 3 minutes. And as we were saying, Tondenya working the ball inside to the man, guarded by Bill Martin. Traveling violation of San Miguel Beer, and Tondenya will regain possession. The lead is down to 4.
And Coach Norman Black sends in Dong Polistico for Billy Martin. No sense in gambling on Billy Martin's 5 personal fouls, especially because they saw that Tondenya was about to exploit that. Here's Wiggins, 3-point shot, won't go. Sonny Kabatu, the offensive rebound. Loose ball foul on Sonny Kabatu. Watch it here.
A 3-point basket. There's the push-off by Sonny Kabatu. You saw that so clearly.
That is the 5th personal on Sonny Kabatu. Just a 4-point lead by San Miguel. Udoy Belmonte blocked by Pino Harencio. But the ball hit the line, said referee Rivera. Meanwhile, Nolly Luxin is sent back in for Kabatu.
4 turnovers for San Miguel Beer here in the 4th quarter so far. A clean slate for Tondenya in that department.
7.5 minutes to go in the game. 4-point lead by San Miguel. Udoy Belmonte against Jaworski. Belmonte gets away.
And what a big night the rookie is enjoying. He's got 14 points in this ball game. That's double his previous career high. Robert Jaworski now trying to drive on Belmonte.
And he loses possession of the basketball.
Yes, he lost the handle. That's a good call by the referees. You saw that coming. Now thinking basket, but Udoy Belmonte standing his ground in defense.
194. 6-point lead by San Miguel. 7 minutes to go. Agustin gets an open shot. Offline.
6:56 left.
Tondenya 65 on the brink of getting into the penalty with 4 team fouls. San Miguel with 2 so far. Wiggins steps on the gas pedal. On his way down, he takes the shot.
And despite defensive pressure, he had 2 men on top of him. But you're right, he did suspend himself in midair to get off that shot.
Wiggins now with 50 points. Alvin Teng having problems. Gets it to De La Cruz. Dog Politico unhampered in that shot.
Very calmly putting the 2 points in on the putback.
And San Miguel leads by 6 once more. 102-96.
A double team on Mitch Wiggins. Sonny Jaworski free for the 3-point attempt. Short that time.
And Agustin picks up the loose ball. Halfway through the fourth quarter.
You notice that Udoy Belmonte, who is guarding Robert Jaworski, is now playing the double team on Mitchell Wiggins. They are gambling on keeping Robert Jaworski open for the shot.
Polistico against Luxin. Kick out to Belmonte. Belmonte splits the middle. And he picks up a foul, possibly for Pido Harencio. Or is it Benny Cheng?
His second personal.
Second personal on Cheng. Still a 6-point lead for San Miguel Beer. Belmonte stepping up in this ball game. Got an unorthodox release, a quick release, as you see one of the walking wounded for San Miguel Beer, Ives Dignadice. Of course, the others being Mon Fernandez down with the flu, together with Hector Calma.
Almost a double-double performance here for Udoy Belmonte with 9 rebounds in this game, 15 points, a solid performance.
And you know, of course, Udoy Belmonte barely stands 6 feet. As Jaworski loses possession inside again.
That's the second straight ball loss on the part of Robert Jaworski.
And guess who was right there when it happened? Udoy Belmonte.
Yes, Belmonte. As we were saying, he's playing the game of his life.
Yeah. Art De La Cruz against Jaworski. Out to Agustin. De La Cruz with the open shot. Yes! And San Miguel again pouring it on. They have a 9-point lead. We have a timeout by Tondenya. Five minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Good evening. This is Ed Pixon together with Quinito Henson for the game between San Miguel and Tondenya. In our first game tonight, which was covered by Seb Sarmenta and Andy Howe, Alaska got their 7th win at the expense of Shell, 102-92.
Now Robert Jaworski has been replaced here by J.V. Gayoso. Sonny Cabato is also back in the basketball game. Here's another steal.
Good defense there by San Miguel.
Really stepping up the defensive pressure now, forcing turnover after turnover on Tondenya. And the Beermen have been capitalizing. Now they're running the clock. 4:38 left here in this game. Belmonte.
It is a 9-point lead by San Miguel.
Yes.
Oh, big block by Luxin. Harencio picks it up. And Harencio dribbling badly. Art De La Cruz.
And he might have traveled that time, but there was no call. He might have traveled, straddling the baseline. And Gayoso will stop the clock. Not a good foul to give up, but he probably thought that there was a wide open lane for Ato Agustin. Tondenya already in penalty situation.
Actually, Agustin also might have traveled there.
Yes.
Just during that foul by J.V. Gayoso. It is now a 9-point lead by San Miguel Beer with 4 minutes and 21 seconds left in the game. And Ato Agustin has been getting his points from the line.
Now earlier, Billy Martin was not playing, resting on the bench with 5 personal fouls. He's now back on the court. This is a stretch run, 4:21 to go in this game.
Remember, San Miguel Beer looking for its 5th win, and Tondena trying to sustain a run, a 2-game winning run. Sonny Cabato attacks the hoop. Yes!
A 3-point play opportunity here for Sonny Cabato. Just as he re-entered the basketball game.
Alvin Tang with his 3rd personal foul here. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left. Still a lot of time.
And the look of pain on the face of Alvin Teng after giving up that foul.
Sonny Cabato certainly has improved on his free throw shooting, 75%. That's a big improvement. As you look at Maki De Hoya, who is also not playing for Tondena because of an injury.
San Miguel Beer not yet in penalty situation. They've got 2 more fouls to give.
Nice drive by Ato Agustin. Belmonte trying to get the offensive rebound. Instead it's Locsin to Galloso.
And once more, the kamikaze drive of J.V. Galloso.
Art de la Cruz acknowledges his 5th personal foul.
Wide open lane. You know, J.V. Galloso.
He's not
give him an opening.
He's not a guy one to back out from such an opportunity.
But he also has the right idea. He's Mr. Instant Offense, and they need to be able to score points in a hurry if they hope to chop down that lead and make a go of it. But Galloso missing his first free throw. You see Coach Norman Black shouting instructions.
The ghost of so many free throws missed in those games that they lost are still haunting Tondena.
A 7-point lead.
107-100, 3 minutes and 48 seconds to go.
Bill Martin continuing to play with 5 personal fouls.
Billy Martin. Here's Galloso. Galloso zigzagging into the front court and into the paint. It's the deck.
Galloso is sort of taking matters into his own hands.
Yes, he is.
He was going up against almost 5 red shirts. Look at this here. Oh, make that 4 red shirts.
Well, he ran the whole gamut there. Picked up the 4th personal foul of Udoy Belmonte. That is the 5th team foul for San Miguel Beer. So from here on in, penalty time. 3:22 to go. 7-point lead by San Miguel. Wiggins out to Harencio. Harencio inside. The handoff. Locsin misses the shot. Loose ball picked up by Art de la Cruz.
And that time they drove on Bill Martin, but Martin not giving up the personal.
He was not about to be baited into it. Ato Agustin signaling the play. Low post for Martin.
Double team. Alvin Teng way outside for that attempt. And I think Nolly Locsin will be called for the personal.
Billy Martin seemed to have had the offensive rebound, but Locsin took it away from him. Let's see what happened here. There's Martin going for the offensive rebound.
Martin down on the floor, and he will go to the stripe on that foul charged on the rookie, Nolly Locsin.
2 minutes and 51 seconds to go. San Miguel Beer with a 7-point lead.
Somehow keeping its composure in the face of this uprising staged by Tondena.
But he's missed a couple of very important free throws here in this ball game.
Well, no doubt he's tired. He scored in 40 points, splitting his charities.
108-100.
Now this game far from over. It's an 8-point lead. Tondena now with possession.
Here's Galloso. Wiggins, strong move to the hoop.
Wiggins down on the floor. Wiggins taking that shot without a single dribble.
And the lead is 6 for San Miguel Beer.
Tondenya badly needs a defensive stop right here.
Belmonte to Martin.
There's renewed confidence in the way Udoy Belmonte is moving on the hard court.
Agustin gets a good look at the basket. That's all he needed. A quick glance. And it's up again to an 8-point lead by San Miguel.
Last 2 minutes.
There's the last 2 minutes of the game, brought to you by Emperador Brandy. Dito na tayo sa totoo, Emperador Brandy. That's going to be a technical on San Miguel Beer. That's the second time they've been caught for illegal defense. So a technical free throw here for Tondenya. And JV Gayoso will take it. But first, a timeout by San Miguel Beer. Eight-point lead here for San Miguel Beer with 1 minute 58 seconds remaining in this ball game, and JV Gayoso at the line.
Now every point counts from here on in, and this technical foul shot being fashioned by Gayoso is like a bonus.
Oh yes, that was on illegal defense,
and that cuts down the lead now to 7. Tondenya.
Tondenya has missed 7 free throws on 12 of 19. San Miguel Beer has been awarded 48 free throws. They've made 36.
Can't afford to take too much time.
Gayoso wanting to get the foul.
And he gave up the foul.
Instead. Remember, both teams in the penalty, so that'll be 2 shots again for San Miguel Beer, which is leading by 7 points at 110 to 103 with that much time remaining, 1 minute and 49.
And Ed, on that particular play, San Miguel Beer's defense did not want Mitchell Wiggins to go up for the shot. They immediately put a double team on Mitchell Wiggins to force him to give up the basketball. And when he did, to a cutting JV Gayoso, the San Miguel Beer interior defense took care of the rest. Gayoso did not have a chance to put up a good shot. San Miguel Beer's defense holding up. Another timeout here.
One minute and 49 seconds remaining in this ball game. A 9-point lead by San Miguel Beer. Tondenya with possession. Remember, both teams in the penalty. Wiggins can't ring the bell, and Arch de la Cruz with the rebound.
And San Miguel Beer will try to eat up as much time off the clock as possible.
Looks
you
like
see the time remaining.
Well, it looks like San Miguel Beer is on its way to its 5th victory, but not if Tondenya 65 can help it. They can use 1 minute and 21 seconds to try and get back, but it doesn't look good.
Doesn't look good at all. With a 9-point lead, Tondenya is not even going a fouling spree to put a stop to the clock because the lead is so wide.
Even wider now.
Otto Agustin getting away. No foul, but the 2 points in there for San Miguel Beer.
11-point lead for the Beermen.
And that could be the last nail in the coffin. They're looking for a 3-point shot from JV Gayoso. He hits it.
And well, the lead is down to 8 with 1 minute and 7 to go. That's still mathematically possible.
They're playing tough defense in the backcourt, but they may want to give up the foul here. Stop the clock and put San Miguel Beer at the stripe. Wait for a poor foul shooter to get the ball.
But there's the steal. That's even better. Gayoso tries another 3-point shot. Not there. Alvin Tang gets it over to Billy Martin.
And Bill Martin playing.
That was a big opportunity there for Tondenya.
Yes. And Martin playing most of the 4th quarter with 5 personal fouls. And Otto Agustin, a dribbling display here.
Martin open. Arencio. There's the pitch to Wiggins.
Locks in looking for a three-point shot. Doesn't get it to fall. And locks in, giving up. Would that be his last foul?
Yes. Gives it up on Udoy Belmonte. 29 seconds to go.
A gallant
Well,
stand.
as you mentioned at the top of the coverage, Quinito, this will not mean that Tondenya is out of it, right?
That's right. Tondenya is still not eliminated. However, Pepsi is now formally eliminated as a contender for the semifinals. Santa Lucia still alive. Tondenya still alive. But of course, for Tondenya to try to make it to the semifinals, they need to win their last two games over Swift and Pepsi. And San Miguel must lose its last two games against Swift and Shell. And that will create a situation for a tie for the fifth semifinal slot. And here's a steal by San Miguel Beer. Nothing going right for Tondenya here in the final few minutes as the defense of San Miguel Beer, something that really has worked wonders for the Beermen ever since the first conference has held up. As they say, the offense can have an off night, but the defense will never have an off night. 2 more points here for Mitchell Wiggins total.
115 to 108.
As we said, a valiant stand here by Tondenya. But San Miguel Beer showing its poise, showing its resiliency to be able to play with such tenacity, Ed, despite
the depleted
so many
lineup,
so many players at sickbay. And earlier we saw Alan Kaidik move out of the game with a bruised knee. That was sometime back in the first quarter, was it?
Yes.
First quarter. He did not return to action. And a lot of the players had to step up, in particular Udoy Belmonte, playing the number 2 guard position. Otto Agustin, he also has contributed more than his fair share in the absence of Alan Kaidik. Fernandez not able to play, Franz Kumare not able to play, Hector Calma, Ives Ignatice. So many wounded players of San Miguel Beer.
They just give Wiggins the shot as Alvin Tang throws it up to Udoy Belmonte. And he shows him how he can leap high up into the air.
Icing on the cake, and June Marsan taking a 3-point basket that rings the bell at the buzzer.
Consolation prize there. They get the last say in this ball game with a 3-point shot from June Marsan. Still not enough to turn things around. San Miguel Beer takes it by 6. We'll have our Gilby's Choice Player of the game for you in just a short while.
Belmonte. 80.
Big win here by San Miguel Beer, winning over Tondenya 65 Rum by 6 points, but a very well-deserved win here for San Miguel Beer. They actually took over the game back in the first quarter, never looked back despite the fact that Alan Kaidik was put out of commission early in this ball game after scoring 8 points. Had a collision with Mitch Wiggins and was out with a bruised knee.
Well, there was a big surge by Tondenya in the fourth period when they cut the lead down to 4 points. But the defense of San Miguel Beer held tough. The composure, the poise, they were all there, the ingredients for this big victory. And the one man who stepped up in the absence of Alan Kaidik is our choice as the Gilby's Choice Player of the game, Udoy Belmonte, the rookie, with 18 points. That's a new PBA career high, 12 big rebounds, an assist and a steal.
All right, on Sunday, do join us. Quinito and I will be working the first game between Santa Lucia Realty and the Pepsi Megas. Then we'll have Seb Sarmento working with Coach Tim Cohn of Alaska. They'll be doing Pure Foods versus Shell. Things are getting even more exciting here in the elimination round of the Commissioner's Cup for 1994, the PBA. Meantime, on behalf of my partner here, Quinito Henson, I'm Ed Picton. Thank you to our director, Ramon Romano, and everybody here at Vintage Sports and PTV4. Good night. We'll see you around.